Hi, everyone. We'll be starting this session. Hello and welcome to this construction domain session as part of the buildingSMART International Summit, Marrakesh 2024. Thank you for joining. My name is Laura, and I will be your moderator today. Today's session is titled Embracing Challenges and Opportunities of Using BIM for Increasing Efficiency in the Construction Process. The speakers for this session are shown on the screen. This session is scheduled to last 90 minutes, including time for questions at the end. The session is being recorded and will be made available in the replay section of the event as soon as possible. Before I hand over to the speakers, I would like to remind you that this is a hybrid event. For online attendees, your microphone will remain muted for the duration of this session. If you wish to make a comment or ask a question, please use the chat box in the control panel. For the attendee here in the room, please keep the background noise to a minimum. And if you wish to make a comment or ask a question, please raise your hand and use a microphone. I would also like to bring to your attention that buildingSMART is committing to ensuring that participation in the development of standards is unrestricted and the process for their adoption is transparent. And standards that develop do not favor any particular provider and are open, non-binding, and accessible to all. Please take note of the Antitrust Code of Conduct. And I would like to hand over to George.
Sorry. Hello, good morning, everyone. Okay, before we start, first of all, my name is Jorge Camilo Diaz. I am a chair of the construction domain at buildingSMART International. I am alongside my colleague, Ken. He will introduce himself. A bit about me. I work in manufacturer construction company, CEMEX. So we deliver cement, concrete, and all the different construction products. Okay, today we're going to have we'll see overall discussion or showing you about a white paper that is going to be released shortly. And but before that, I will hand over to Ken. Maybe you wanted to introduce yourself.
Hi, good morning. I'm Ken Endo from Kajima in Japan. And then I guess it's the third day of the session. Then you feel a bit tired, but are you okay? Quite silent, but anyhow, we will run this session with coordination with you. So please be relaxed, and if you have any question, please raise your hand and then ask us. And this kind of some bilateral communication is very useful for us. Thank you very much. Enjoy.
Thank you, Ken. I also want to mention that our other three members of the steering committee of the construction domain will be speakers in this session. They are connected online. We have Konstantinos from Strabag, Belko from Bexel, and also Ricardo from Ferrovial. Maybe we can show them. Yes, okay, we'll show them on the screen. Yeah, there you go. So maybe if each of you, please, can introduce yourself, starting with the Konstantinos.
So, Konstantinos Kisurius, I'm working for Strabag, international construction company, and I am heavily involved in buildingSMART to achieve open BIM standards usable in construction industry.
Thank you, Konstantinos. Berko, please.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm Berko Yanis, CEO and co-founder of Bexel Consulting. We are software developers in a BIM arena and open BIM for more than 15 years. We're also multinational members of buildingSMART International. We are also consultants on large-scale projects. And it's my great pleasure to be in this steering committee and work with my respective colleagues for more than, I think now 6 years, if I'm correct.
Thank you, Berko. Ricardo, please.
Yes, hello, my name is Ricardo Munguia. I'm the Global Head of Digital Construction and Data Management in Ferrovial Construction. Thank you for coming here, and I apologize for not being present. But I will be online.
Thank you, Ricardo. Thank you all. Okay, so let's go back to the slides. First of all, I would like to show briefly the agenda that we're going to develop during this session. First thing, before the slides coming, in the intention of today's talk is about I would say kind of summary of plenty of the things perhaps many of us know about the situation in the construction industry. And different challenges that we are facing from our different perspectives, being a user, manufacturer, or a construction company, or designer, etc. So we're going to try to give an overview of the reasons of this white paper, where we embarked into the creation of this material. Therefore, we're going to explain a bit about what are the problems and the solutions that are tackling these issues, which standards are available to help us on helping in this process. More importantly, use cases that may perhaps clarify better how to solve these situations. Give also a talk about the importance of the standardizing the use cases. Each of the use cases, they can be hundreds of use cases, of course, in the construction, and we're gonna try to mention why they are so important and how can we perhaps standardize them. Of course, QA and discussion, and some conclusions and some thoughts about the future. What is next after this? I mean, the white paper is not the end; it's just the beginning of this journey, trying to help as much as possible all the different stakeholders that are during the construction phase. So let's go next. An overview. Okay, first of all, the construction domain. An introduction. We are part of the buildingSMART International organization. The purpose of this domain, you can get into the buildingSMART International webpage. There is some information that might be useful just to know about who are we. But basically, we try to tackle, okay, the site productivity. What can we do to lower construction costs? What can we do to improve safety in construction, which is in fact, indeed, is one of the most important topics. But leveraging the BIM technology, okay? So this is, of course, the core technology that we are tackling, and but BIM technology using open standards. Okay, the work this white paper tries to show it is to summarize, okay, the different problems that we are facing today, proposing new approaches on this digital transformation. I'm pretty sure we all have been facing the problems to digitalize our processes, right? Even if we are not talking about construction, even in our personal lives, is a little bit complicated, okay? Of course, we are going to present, as I mentioned, some case studies, provide some more detailed information about, okay, how can we help to solve this issue. The white paper is applicable to any project, any construction project. It doesn't matter if it's building, if it's infrastructure, bridge, road, etc. It's quite general overview. It will be also quite interesting material to introduce people for newcomers or new people in the organizations to understand, okay, what is this issue of digitalizing a construction company, or what is happening in digitalization of the construction industry. Three topics, very simple. The problem. We all face the situation of having different software vendors, different solutions, quite specialized, but it's quite complicated to communicate between them. And this is one of the issues that exist today. Of course, there are solutions, and people try to in the construction company, there are digital divisions, IT divisions that there are smart people who try to make it happen. But when you have you have hundreds of projects and you have to make it scalable, there is where it comes the problem, okay? Because if you have bespoke solutions, they are not scalable. It's very costly, lengthy, and not really functional. So we have this issue of interoperability, okay? The solution that we are basically saying, or at least endorsing the solution of using Open BIM standards as part of these workflows that we need to create to make interoperable the flows of data. And for that, but we cannot just do it with the best of our intentions. The idea is that we leverage the work that has been done in the standardization, especially with the ISO 19650 and the different standards created in the buildingSMART. Now, I mentioned, okay, the use cases, the way to show examples today is not really standardized. And one of the conclusions, or okay, maybe I'm talking too much ahead, is okay, we need to standardize this process, okay, in order to, for the new people, the new construction companies that are embracing digitalization, leverage from the other cases. A bit of what mostly has been said, but I just want to focus on that. In this white paper, we try to mention, okay, summarize the challenges that they are faced today and the opportunities, because of course having a challenge is not necessarily bad, because it sparks creativity and also open doors for new even businesses or business models, or even new opportunities to be more efficient. So despite the fact that there are these interoperable problems communicating between softwares and data, there are, I mean, these standards and these new protocols, templates, etc., opens this opportunity to be more efficient, more profitable, and manage more information in just a few clicks. So I will hand over now to Ken, who will go deeper on the problem that we are facing.
Yeah, hi. So from this part I was mentioning, and then so there's many problems, and then in one word, I think we need much more communication, because the Open BIM is some kind of concept. So there's the concept, and then of course there's some rigid standards defined by buildingSMART. But it depends on software vendor if we use or create the software ecosystem. So creating the software ecosystem, we need some knowledge. Of course, we need Open BIM knowledge first, and then later individual software knowledge. But to combine many software and then the formats, and then create the innovation, we need some kind of test, and then it's the burden much more to us. That's I think the most biggest problem, and then we need much more information about the Open BIM. But if we use the series of some specific vendor software, such as Autodesk Suite, it's quite easy, because the vendor has a responsibility to exchange some data between software. But if you just select the multi-vendor software, there's many trouble. And I guess many of you suffer from that kind of problem. And then to start for this session, I'd like to ask you which industry you belong to. So please raise your hand, someone in the construction company. Oh, just one person. Oh, thank you. What's the name of the company? Poland. Oh, thank you. So other members, are you in the IT vendor? Someone raise your hand. Oh, you're from IT. Which company?
Startup
Oh,
develops integration of BIM and data for construction.
oh, I see. Zoomer. Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you very much. So rest of you, can I ask you what kind of your professional and then the company name? Yes, please. Oh,
The Federal Highway Administration in the U.S.
yeah. I know. Yes. Thank you very much. Welcome from US. And then some person from the Morocco, please raise your hand. No one here in Morocco. I see. So many of you are from US and then Europe. And the rest, how about US, South America? No one. Oh, you originally, okay. Yeah.
Yes, originally.
And I'm from Asia, but how about you? Yes. Oh, please raise your hand.
Sorry for my bad English.
Oh, no
Yeah,
problem. No
yes.
problem. Yes.
So I'm from Marrakesh.
Marrakesh and
Yeah,
which
I'm surveyor.
surveyor?
Yeah,
Oh, I saw working for some project.
I'm working for myself. I have my company.
Oh, sorry. The highway or the.
No, for the projects.
I have my private company.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Mhm.
And also, who is Danny? She is the surveyor.
I'm a surveyor engineering at Sitopo company with Madam Nadia.
I see. So I just in your country, you just start up the chapter, Morocco chapter of buildingSMART. But do you feel is there enough information for Open BIM at this moment, or do you need much more?
No, we are just a new in this domain.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's the situation now. Yes.
We are beginner in this domain, and we just introduced this world, and we are looking for more information in order to enhance our.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much to join this session. So yeah, so that kind of communication, and we need very clear information of the Open BIM. It's our facing problem. So in this memo, it says BIM is adopted in many projects in worldwide, but now there's many the version of the IFC, and then the data interoperability needs some kind of testing and then the experience. So the exchanging those information is very important, and we need some community devoted to dedicated to this Open BIM society is the big problem. And then the next one is the solution. Yes, so the solution is not only building the community, but also technically we have many solution choices now. And as you know, well, excuse me, yes. Yeah, here comes solution. An interoperability problem should be solved by the Open BIM community, like BSI. But we are now facing to technology issue as well. In traditional process, exchanging of BIM data rely on IFC file shared bilaterally between software. But now, in modern process, our working environment consists of many cloud systems, including the CDE. So it is much more diverse solution that we can share data with all project stakeholders simultaneously. But on the other hand, we should understand new technology on the web, such as OpenCDE and an API named OpenCDE API, and the BSDD, IDS, and the validation service, etc. So those systems are working collaboratively on the network and based on API technology, so which is commonly used in worldwide systems such as SNS and an IoT domain. Therefore, we need much more collaboration with other industry and overcome technology obstacle by working together. The big shift has made BIM more accessible and interconnected and enhancing collaboration and innovation in the field, I believe. The next slide is the ecosystem of the BIM, the specified to construction phase. So it's slightly complicated, but it's very simple. In the traditional process, there's the BIM software, and then file of the IFC. And at the bottom, there is the domain of IFC. And at the beginning, the BSI established IFC for building. But IFC version went up to 2x3, the version 4, 4.1 and 4.2. Now it covers not only building, but infrastructure, such like the road, railway, and bridge, and such facilities, such like the airport, and the port, and power plant. And technically, IFC has two main roles. One is as file format, and another is data schema. At the beginning, file-based data exchange between BIM software and secure interoperability was the IFC's main role. But as you know well, now we have cloud-based data exchange with CDE. CDE technology has been developed with the evolution of IT technology. IFC data can be serialized and structured. And now we can store them to database. And thanks for this data handling technology, that we can use access and exchange BIM data via internet. And it opened infinite possibility to utilize BIM data, not only for building construction, but as a part of production data and the infra data. And CDE standard named OpenCDE API was defined by BSI, and we can have interoperability among OpenCDEs now. That's the situation, and it's a very big change and big solution for us. So next, please.
Yes. Thank you, Ken. So we'll hand over to Konstantinos, who's going to explain about the standards.
So thank you a lot. And I'm just looking on the time. So we are 12:30, and we have at the end of our presentation very important examples and a summary of use cases. So I would suggest to go quite fast through the existing standards. And anyhow we have time, we will come back. So you will see on the following slides, you will see the existing standards we do have. So the naming of the existing standards we do have, and they are really helpful to help us in really setting up a digital work environment. So here you see the 19650, which gives us a frame about how we work, how we should work together in digitalization with documentation, graphical data, but also non-graphical data, and how we will giving us a frame and also a direction how we will go to step by step. What we have to do in all these standards is use them, of course, but detail them, because it's not one-to-one copy you can do with the standard. The standard is just giving you a frame. We have to detail them to connect them in our daily work and use them. So 9650 is very important, giving us overview about how to organize the information management. So next slide, please. So as I already mentioned, so the need for the standards is to manage long-term construction life cycles. So this means that all people have to work together. And to get more detail of that, good prepared slides, I would ask you to read on after this presentation. So let's go next slide to come nearer to our examples. So the BSI solutions for buildingSMART is offering also a lot of services, not only standards but also services, which help us to connect these standards you have seen, the ISO standards, to our daily work. So it's usually vendor neutral, and it supports the collaborative process. So next slide, please. So here we have the one slide, a small overview, what we will also show you in the examples about how this workflow is enabled. It starts usually with the use case management, and we will dive into use case management some slides later. So use case managements are really the base to organize all the process changes coming up. And this process chain is then supported by IFC, of course, by IDS, BCF, OpenCDE standards, which are part of the next slides. So let's start with the IFC. So it was quite fast. But it starts a lot with the use case management. Okay, but then the next slide. So the next slide is about IFC. So IFC is standardizing the digital description of a building, of a built environment. So we have a clear definition about the objects we are exchanging, and it's neutral, and it's an ISO norm. So this is also very important that it is a defined norm and can be used on quality standards we have defined. So next of that. So then it comes to the collaboration, and BCF was a quite good move of buildingSMART to be able to transport issue management and coordination issues through different softwares. And already BSF is available in more than 100 software tools, so it's very good implemented, and it really helps us to transport all these issues. So next. So then there's BSTD, so BSTD, which is still, I think, having to be implemented more. So by software industry, I have to ask the software industry in this time to really look on how to connect this BSTD into all the software solution we do have. So the role of the BSCD is to embrace all definitions we already have in different classification systems, like ATIM, Uniclass. You see them on the slide. So more than 80 dictionary classification systems to define what is the information of an 3D object can be searched through the BSDD and can be connected. So I hope there will be more software vendors connecting to that. So then we come to the newest thing of buildingSMART, which is the IDS, Information Delivery Specification. This is a very big base and big move from buildingSMART to allow us to interchange digital data readable by a computer. So whatever we define, how we want to structure our communication with data is not only written in the AERs and the BEPs, which are read by people, but the content of these documents can be reflected in the IDS. It can be exchanged automatically. This will help a lot in getting more efficient. So next slide, please. So now we come to the use cases. So sorry for being a little bit fast, but I hope now we have a lot more time to dive into the examples. So please, colleagues.
Berko, please.
So thank you all for this nice introductions. I will just briefly explain to you the one case study. It was a National Football Stadium project, which is in Serbia, which is a part of a much larger project where, since Belgrade is going to be host of Expo 2027, and also there is going to be a huge retail complex, aquatic center. So the total value of the investment is almost 2 billion euros, and the football stadium is 52,000 capacity. So what were the main actually in Serbia? There is a significant BIM progress, and BIM is implemented on a lot of large-scale public projects and also private projects. So the main goal was from the day one to directly, based on investor request. If you can go back to the previous slide. Thank you. So the Serbian Building Directorate, who as investor, and Ministry of Finance, they wanted that everything is done in an integrated environment, and that everything is based on open BIM. And luckily, due to a significant automated workflows, we were able to generate a lot of data automatically from a pure IFC model without any additional properties. So thanks to the intelligent workflows, it was possible to add new cost classification properties based on the rules of measurement to calculate quantities, analyze geometry, even optimize geometry, and so on. So what was very important is that the client, as a driver, recognized this as a benefit and required that all stakeholders use BIM from the start. So it allows to create high quality quantity analysis, good tendering packages, exact construction schedules, and accurate cost estimate. Please move to the next slide, Jorge. And in detailed location-based scheduling was also implemented. So in initial stage, just in 2 weeks, various wall-tape scenarios were created. Total 6 different options how to build this, because as you can imagine, construction schedule is very tight. On that project, there are more than 1,400 piles, some of them 28 meters. So the structure is very complex. And of course, the client have a very tight deadline because it has to be opened together with Expo 2027. And based on this analysis, the entire schedule duration was reduced for approximately 12%. When the entire IDS was implemented, of course, and BSDD as a standard, and later, when this analysis were finished, now I will ask you to share the video which was created just in 2 weeks from a pure BIM model, and please lower, Laura, the sound so I can talk while this. Okay, so this simulation automatically generated with this. Luckily, we had experienced a lot of football stadiums for World Cups and other important world stadiums. So thanks to this intelligent planning and experience gathered from the previous projects, this was possible for everything presented here to be done just in the 2 weeks from pure BIM models. So the simulation and the Gantt chart contains almost 3,000 tasks, and around 1,400 cost items were generated. So now in this video, this was integrated with the Expo project. So the total distance now is slightly more than 2 kilometers. In this part of the video, you can see now, and the entire infrastructure in between. So all the pipes, roads, and everything was integrated in a single ecosystem. The challenges here were that, as I mentioned, properties were not there. So we used the data enrichment. This is a small enhancement to IDS. So the system automatically recognized certain IFC elements and attached to them the cost code. It was decided by the client that we will use Uniform 2010 as a standard, and all these analysis and cost estimates and cost classifications are based on Uniform. What was important that in all these analysis, leveling resources and flow lines were implemented. So when the schedule is generated, it was very important that there are not going to be construction clashes, and that the two main contractors will have realistic and optimized targets. The success of this project and in initial phase was also very important from, let's say, open BIM marketing perspective. So this was the first time when this video actually was presented on all main news and mainstream media, not just in Serbia, but in the entire region. So it, let's say, attracted people to learn more about the benefits of BIM and open BIM. So in this case, you can see CD. Everything is, of course, in Bexel CD based on IFC. So how the quantity takeoffs are generated. So in this case, we can see that almost 115,000 cubic meters of concrete has to be installed. These are the floor plans. And I would like to also mention that now, since the design is optimized, all the quantities are produced, and based on that, interactive dashboards are generated, which allow users and top decision makers to easily track the progress and see, in this case, you can see the balanced resources, so they can track the progress and always have planned versus actual analysis, so they can know if they are ahead of schedule or behind the schedule. I would like to also emphasize that the main contractor in this case is Power China, one of the largest contractors in the world, In the beginning, they understood that this is more a system to control them. Now they can really rely on all this information, and their main planners sit down with the BIM specialist to analyze the actual progress, to identify where are potential delays, to run Monte Carlo analysis and so on, so they can really easily understand what's happening with the project. You can now switch maybe just to the slides again. So some of the key results were that without automation, first of all, BIM standards and open BIM standards have to be used as much as possible. And what Konstantinos, Ken, and Jorge mentioned before, it's very important to focus on a real achievable use cases to define accurate but also achievable ideas checks, so not to ask for hundreds of or thousands of properties which are mandatory and then not use it. So this was the first takeaway. People now see the real results, so they are not using BIM for the sake of BIM. And if you can, and BIM is also fully going to be ready for facility maintenance and asset management. And if you move to the next slide, several important things. So this is how the process, let's say, looks like. So you have the renderings or design was done by 10 big architects from Spain, from Madrid. They did also several very well-known stadiums before in Qatar for World Cup and so on. And you can see now the process of quantity takeoffs, integrated 45D environment, and various dashboards are there. Then the progress is tracked directly from the site, and the BCF workflows are implemented and OpenCD workflows, so everybody who's working in open BIM environment can use its own tools to track the progress. And then, as I said, project management reports. In this case, we see a delay analysis, so we can actually see what's happening on the site, where we are having delays, or we are working ahead of planned schedule. And if you can move to the next slide. One of the most important benefits of BIM on this and other similar projects is increase of trust. And the value of trust is huge on the project. And if we have trust, we can really execute the projects in a much more efficient way, and we can trust each other. So in this case, comparing from the similar projects we had in the past, the 84% is less variation in claims because we trust each other and we are focusing really on some changes which were made and of course has to be respected. So this is one thing which tremendously helped. We usually spend a lot of time in claims and disputes, so maybe less job for the lawyers, but for us as engineers, much better situation. And approval procedure, which is very important for contractors, is much faster, so we improved this 5 times, and now it's 80% lower duration for the interim payments verification, and of course, contractors and subcontractors can get their money almost immediately. So thank you for this. Later, of course, if you have any questions, it would be my pleasure to answer.
Thank you very much, Berko. We have a second case from Ferrovial, so Ricardo will explain. Go ahead, Ricardo.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to present 2 real examples of 2 company-level construction companies. The first is our own case, Ferrovial. We have been implementing digitalization with Open BIM standards in the company in a global way since 2021. So now the examples that I am going to give are from 2 companies. In the first case is Ferrovial example. Ferrovial, we did a whole implementation globally. We began in that year, and the measures of the whole. Okay, Now louder. Louder. Okay, I will speak louder.
Please.
Perfect. Okay, sorry. I changed it to one here. We began the full implementation in the company of digital way of digitalization with open BIM standards by 2021. And by the end of the last year, we began to measure all the KPIs in the whole company. There are some data that I cannot share because there are confidentiality, but these are the real values that we took after these 2.5 years benefit improvement. It took us like 6 months to measure everything. So we divided in three main keys, people, processes, and tools. We measure an improvement in productivity of our labor, direct cost labor. We reduced the number of people that we had to hire because with the same people we were able to do more. And we got as well a benefit on retention of people. Our people were more happy and were more with more fidelity to us. In processes, we measure reduce of rework, reduce of risk, and as well an improvement of claims at the end of the project. In those projects that have ended, what we did was taking several projects, measure those projects, and then extrapolate to the whole company. And for example, because of use of open BIM and collaborative way of working, we took away a huge amount of paper. That in that paper measures into carbon emissions are 75 tons of carbon emission reduction, and this was measured. So all these data are real data in an annual way. These measures are annual, and also we reduced the amount of software that we had to implement in $250,000 per year. If you go to the next, please, Laura. If you translate that into money, the investment of implementing open BIM digitalization and collaborative way of working, because you need training, you need to have tablets, for example, instead of paper, there is an amount of money that you have to invest anyway. But the benefit was 2.67 times bigger than the cost of the implementation. Laura, the next, please. The second example is a Chilean company, Icafal. I work in Chile for more than 8 years. And they are a real estate company that also does construction. So they decided to implement open BIM and collaborative way of working, and they began measuring that. In Chile, they measure everything in order to know how to improve. And these are public data that they share in several forums. They measure the initial way without BIM, without any kind of BIM, the level, what they call level 2 with isolated open BIM standards, and the level 3 with a collaborative way of open BIM. And they measure a reduce of excess of cost during construction. So there was, in the beginning, they had like a 5% of excess of cost in their own construction projects that they were developing. They reduced that to 3.3%. And after all, they got only 1.4% of increase of cost. So maybe you are thinking that this is an improvement of 3%, but in a relative way, this is a reduction of 70% of improvement. The next, please. That is the same, but translated into time and also into exceeded cost. So taking reduce of time also improves the cost. They didn't measure that cost. They only could measure the how they comply with the planning. They saw that in the initial way of working, they always had an overpass of planification by 41%. And with the new work of working and open BIM usement and collaboration, they were able to reduce the time of execution by almost 3%. That amount of time was not measured in the values of the cost that were shown in the previous slide. Yes, Laura, please. And I give the pass to Constantine, no, to Ken. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricardo. Ken, please.
Yes, so the third use case is the very general one. I can say it's the universal, the solution. And then I'm from Kajima in Japan, and then I'm in charge of BIM IT. So now I construct very large scale the BIM environment for our company. And so it's not slightly different from creating the system for one specific project. But now I think we want to host all of the construction project in similar our BIM ecosystem. So first of all, we think the CDE must be standardized. So, and then wanna select one CDE. But we experienced that's quite difficult. And then in construction, the domain division, we select the Katenda. Do you know Katenda? Does someone know the Katenda? Raise your hand. Not many person, or two of you. Yes. Katenda is not large giant company, but it's the company in Norway. And then the CTO, the Mr. Professor, Dr. Bell, is very keen to BSI, and then dedicate their effort to the BSI activities. Anyhow, so what I mean is the Katenda Hub is purely based on the IFC standards. So it's open standard API is a very universal solution defined by buildingSMART International. So we set CD at the center of the data transfer and construction phase. But at the right-hand side, this chart, it's a very famous chart. And then do you know this chart? Please raise your hand. Someone, yes, it's a very famous chart, and then it's not new. I guess it's 10 years ago, much more than that. Mark Bew, UK, prominent BIM consultant, advocated this chart, and then his some report demystified CDE. In that report, it is suggested. And as you can say, there's many rounds, and then upper side, there's the design, and then next one is the construction, and last one is operate. So there's the three phases of construction, and then each phase and each company has small CDEs. So the team CDE is a very small round, blue round and circle. And the next PIM is much bigger type of the repository. We can say it that CDE. So what I selected for construction division was Katenda, and then it's the CDE for construction division. So do we have design division and an OM division internally in Kajima? So they choose another CDE. So mainly our design department chose BIM 360 or Autodesk Construction Cloud ACC. And then we, the construction division, selects OpenCDE, and the Katenda Hub. And OM, it's still ambiguous, but we will select some, mainly the two systems. But and then the combination of the CDE and then the struct, very strong, the rigid core data management, and then process management system is very important. And we should do in the first step. So next, please. And the next one, the step 2, if you can construct some good data management platform and run this very efficiently, then you can step into second step. Firstly, the design division give us a file of their completed IFC or some Revit file to us. So we receive it by file, but we should change the methods gradually. And there is the APIs. So we will move to API connection, using API connection. And then, as you know well, there's the API named OpenCDE API defined by BSI. So if you use this kind of standardized API connection, then it's quite easy to develop this kind of the small system to extract the data from CDE, or the input, add some data from outside to inside to CDE. So next step, we will adopt this kind of the API and then change the environment. And the last one, please go to next slide. Yeah. So if you can create this kind of the very basic foundation of data management, and then it's scalable data platform, you can step into this kind of innovation area. In the previous session, I was in award session for construction division and the infra division, and I was main jury. So I saw the 5 very innovative projects, and then I saw all of the ecosystem of each project. So all of them are very excellent, and then yes, of course, it's the best practices of the BIM. But in terms of open BIM, we should think about file format firstly, and then how to manage those files from beginning of the project to end of the project. So that kind of the process management and then the data management combination is very fundamental. So if you do not have that kind of the very rigid basis, it's all those trial of innovation will be in vain. So here comes the combination with robotics and then digital twin. We need much more the real-time connection with CDE and combined to other data such as IoT. So if you don't have a very rigid foundation, it's collapsed soon and then does not work well. And the OM phase also, somewhat extension for OM, for example, the IoT connection or some CO2 control or the power control. All those need the very small particle data communication, the very frequent communication. And last one, life cycle utilization. So we need to maintain the data the very long term, more than 50 years. So we should think about maintaining, how to maintain, and how to utilize all those data. So it's the innovative area. But if you construct the very the scalable and then open BIM CDE, it's quite easy to step into this area. So that's 3 steps. Now, firstly, construct CDE and then the rigid data platform. And next, adapt API. And third one, jump into innovation is my suggestion. And it's case D. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Okay, so I think it's time for you now, Konstantinos, to go on the use cases.
Yes. May I try to share my screen because it's an animated presentation. Maybe I can easier
will
to
change.
show it. Let me see. So let's see. Oops. Yes. So, oh yes. So you can see my screen, and yeah, to summarize it, what we have seen before, the 3 examples. What is the common thing of the 3 examples or 3 use cases we have seen? You have see that they gained efficiency because they could connect their individual IT solutions in a way that they can interchange data. And how that works, and one of the main components why this works is our use cases, which are a little bit underestimated in the discussion so far. And let's have a deep dive a little bit in use case. So the role of use cases in construction digital transformation. So the construction industry relies on specialized collaboration, as you have seen, across planning, building, and operation phases. So each project is shaped by its specific use, local conditions, and legal requirements. So Chile, Japan, Serbia, you have seen all that. So this has led to a division of labor in our history and the development of tools for communication, organization, and contract management so far. So we do have these tools, but these are not digitalized in our history. So now the challenge is how to digitize this collaboration, so connect the growing digital environments of specialists involving in each project. So as each building has unique characteristics and stakeholders, the goal is to link their digital solutions. So we can't ask all the people using the same tools, but we can ask to link them to ensure seamless information exchange and that each participant's output meets the expectations. So this challenge isn't new. So it's not, we are not the first in the world to discover that. Other industries have addressed that and have defined use cases which are a consensus-driven frameworks of the exchange of required information. For example, the banks sat together and defined what do we expect in digital exchange if a person is going to use an automatic cashier machine. So this is a use case. So, but the problem is it sounds so very easy if you write it down, while it may sound straightforward. The problem is that this task must be undertaken by all of us being part of the industry. So here's our contribution from the construction execution phase to address this problem. So what is a use case and how it connects to my solution? So a use case is a standardized description of a scope of work. So what I'm expected to do related to the project phase, including the relevant stakeholders associating digital input, output, and exchange requirements, as you have seen before, which is already written down in the standards that we have to do that. Yes, we have to. So the process as well as the prerequisites to achieve the specific goal on a project. So it's telling us what data we're going to exchange on purpose, and enabling us, as it is a breakdown, it's not the whole in one, and it enables us to do that step by step and to establish the 100% quality what we want to exchange. What it doesn't do is it don't tells you how you have to do your work. It don't tells you that you have to use this and that software, but it describes how you communicate your results and to get your input. So what is what I produce? What is what I want to get? So standardization in this case doesn't dictate what you have or must to do. Standardization in this case is providing a common foundation for defining use case and ensuring anyone's understanding and applying them easily. So we share the common base. So standardization means that we share the common methodology, a description, how we define use cases. Everybody can read them and react to them. But therefore, we have to do that together. So this ensures that everyone's digital solution can deliver and understand common data, which is the main problem by the moment. So a solution describes the project-specific standardized realization of a use case. A concrete approach is hereby defined. So solution can be technology, software, method, or trade-specific. So let me explain that in a picture. Maybe it's easier to understand. So it's not about the solution. It's about to describe the use case management, how they are working together. So I go through that picture with these yellow frames, and would like to emphasize you first to look on the yellow pictures, and then we can discuss on the whole picture. So it starts with the use case management, where use case management of buildingSMART can be used, and this is a public definition of what we are going to do in the market. So this delivers an information like information need for input-output, addressing responsibilities and processes, and quality of data. You are used to that already. You do that on every project, every contract via AER or via BEP. The difference is now that it is here. You see the IDS. Here you see the IDS symbol. That this can be produced automatically out of the definition. So you don't have to do that on every project specific, but you can use that in every project. So what is the result of that? So if you do this chain, the impact to the market is we are enabling digital process change through that. So clients, designers, constructors, operators can easier connect their systems because they are defined digital in advance and produce digital description. So this is the base for market digitalization. So if any country wants to achieve a digitalization of their market, they should think on that. So now we have this red line below. So the red line below, so I lost my mouse here, yes. So this red line below this is what's happening in the company. So this upper thing is public, and what's happening now in the company. So if there is a use case which is defined and you have an IDS definition for the content of what is in the AR and in the BEP, you can download it to configure your software. You have solution A, B, C, D, E, whatever solutions they are. The only thing you need is the configurators like already existing BIM-Q or feature server or other technical solutions, which can be fed by this definition, configure your solution like Revit, Graphisoft, whatever, but not only CAD systems, but also your estimation tools, whatever. And you can produce the data you're asked for. So this replaces the modeling guidelines, templates, configuration solutions you have already in the company by a smart way, by digital exchange. And what is the impact? So the impact is very clear. So it secures, the most important thing is it secures the individual digital IT configuration we have, or the money we have put into, or the invest we have done in defining all our individual configuration, so it meets the requirements of the market. So I don't have to adjust it day by day. And it enables software-independent digital collaboration. So it enables also the software vendors to understand what are the solutions I'm asked for in the market. And this is the bigger picture in use cases. So if we have a picture where we want to go to, so what is the status? So where we are now. So we have an existing use case management by buildingSMART, which is already launched as a platform, and you can find it on the internet, which can fulfill this needed central role, because we need a central role where we discuss common things. So it's facilitating a needed common definition for use cases with methodology, semantics, and syntax already. So we have already things structured there, so we can understand each other through markets and languages. So it's a common platform where use cases can be coordinated and found. It's a single source of truth to find these definitions. So the use cases are described, therefore, can expand the concepts of Open BIM and MVD. So we have to think beyond of just geometric data like IFC. So the open concept of Open BIM means in that context that we can understand each other what we want to do. So it extends the concept of Open BIM towards exchange, process, and interpret the information according to their specific roles and responsibilities. So Open BIM, it not only means exchange an IFC file. Open BIM means we have the same understanding of processes. So, but to achieve that, this open process integrated collaboration, we have to do some homework. So we are not ready. We have a good start, a small start. It's a first step, a very good step, but we can step on, but we have to do some things. And what is what we need? So what is needed, what we have to do? So what is needed to make existing use case management becoming the determining key for open digital collaboration construction sector. So this is what I would like to suggest. So the UCM is not just a service. So although it is already a service, but it's not limited to that. It must also be involved into a strategic project within buildingSMART to be able to continue its development and expansion. So we are not ready, but we can step on and expand it. So what we have to do? So we have to enhance usability for our stakeholders, which is essential, particularly by encouraging industry associations. I would like to address all industry associations to engage in defining use cases for their members, because they define the market rules, how we work together, and now they have to do that in digital. These use case definitions should be integrated into contract templates, so use cases are directly connected to our contracts. It's not only a technical definition, it's also a contractual stuff we do there to standardize practices across the sector. So I would like to emphasize that software vendors, software solution providers should engage, because it's crucial to demonstrate the value of fulfilling market demands for seamless information exchange and the need of integrated use case management with their system functionalities. So I think, to summarize, it's not the best software to have the best buttons in there, which will be selected by the market in the future, but it's the best software enabling or giving us sufficient functionality, but best connectivity in market. So everybody who's best connectable will be best asked in the market. And of course, the software, the providers of the classification systems, what we have seen, BSDD, so there are all these software classification system providers and beyond, should be involved to showcase how their information definitions can be applied in processes potentially through the use of buildingSMART data dictionary. So they are connected with data dictionary is connected with use case management, and then these guys can see, and where is my classification used? So to summarize, because I was a little bit fast going through all these standards, so we have the standards as CDE. So Ken mentioned that we need definitions of CDEs. So here are the standards defining CDEs. We need information management. Yes, 9650 is addressing that. We need IDM, we need IFC, we need IDF. Classification, we need all this level of information need definitions, and we have all these data template, element, product, catalogs, whatever. What we have to do is we have to work on the standards. Meanwhile, we are working on developing use case management to be the tool of process definition in the market. So both go hand in hand. So again, it's not somebody else doing it. We have to do that. So thanks for
Thank you very much,
listening to us.
Constantinos. Okay, good. So we are about approaching our final part. So we encourage you all in the room, and also if there are people connected, to scan this Mentimeter survey or some questions that are going to be pop out that will be basically used to wrap up the session and have a more collective conclusion. Of course, you will have the slides available, so you can go back and check all the different information that was already mentioned. Okay, so I think, okay, so we can maybe launch first one. Anyhow, whoever have not connected yet, they can go to Mentimeter and use the code that is in the top part, and just to get the questions. So the first one, it is, okay, what is the main, for you, for us, okay, what is the main purpose of Open BIM? Then we have to reduce project costs, to ensure data interoperability across different software platforms, to create 3D models, to manage construction schedules. Okay, so yes, 80% of the respondents, okay, are going for the second one, to ensure data interoperability across different software platforms. Okay, I think we can move to the other one. The second question is, which phase of a construction project benefits the most from Open BIM? We have the planning phase, the design phase, construction phase, or operation and management phase. Yeah, okay, it's going competition between construction phase and O&M phase. Okay. Okay, great. So we're going to launch the third one. But certainly it has a good relation, no, at the end. There are more people using different type of solutions, so it's more important to have interoperability in the construction phase. Third one, what is the primary benefit of using Open BIM in construction projects? So we have, okay, it's a faster completion, improved collaboration among stakeholders, lower material costs and cost savings, or increased labor efficiency. Okay, collaboration is, for the moment, having more share in the answers, and secondly, increase labor efficiency. Yeah, quite interesting answer, but I think collaboration has been definitely a topic that we try to tackle with the Open BIM standards. There's a fourth question, which I think is the last. What are the main advantages of BIM? The first one says decentralized management of information. The second option is reduction of design errors. Third one is improved project efficiency, cost saving, and enhanced collaboration among various stakeholders. Okay, improving project efficiencies, getting Okay. Centralized management of information and enhanced collaboration. Yeah. Improve project efficiency. Well, these are tricky questions. So the answers, let's say, is not one for all, but this is just an opinion of the crowd. So we appreciate your answers. There is a fifth term. So sorry. Now this one is what are the benefits of Open BIM? Previous one was BIM in general. This one is about Open BIM. So we have different options. Enhance decision-making ability, interoperability between different software in the supply chain, improved productivity, cost and time saving, enhanced collaboration, and future proofing. Okay. Yes, then here the interoperability is getting most of the answers. Yeah. Okay. I think we can. Okay, if there is anything you would like to share, okay, you can post it in the answers. But I think we can go to the last to close the session in the last slides. So thank you for your answers, your honest answers. This is just a survey that may go on the what we have understood, and also what are our opinions about what is happening today. So okay, on the conclusions, I'm not gonna is mentioned too much, and I think all the speakers has already mentioned the advantages. I will go to the last one. Sorry, and just to close on the. Remember that we started this mentioning that we are launching a white paper document that is going to have all this information that we have mentioned, also a little bit more detail. But the idea of this white paper and all this information is to provide a comprehensive overview of the key points that we are all facing in this digital transformation of the construction industry, and especially when the digital transformation involves the use of BIM technology. And given the hope that by using the different standards, ISO standards that were already explained, and also Open BIM standards from buildingSMART, so we can have a better collaboration in the process among different stakeholders. And of course, the end of this collaboration and interoperability will hopefully give a most cost-efficient projects that, as they were shown in the different use cases, delivering faster, and of course, more important today in the context of our situation, a more sustainable building assets. So that's for all. Maybe there is just last comment, no? Ken wanted also to give something on the future, and this is our last slide, and we hope that this will inspire all of us to work together in the next challenges.
Yeah, so it's the final page, and then what's the next? And then it means that we will continue working in this domain. So the next summit will be held in Singapore. So please join. And the next I heard that it's in building. So I hope that we can see again. And then anyhow, in the afternoon from 1:30, we will have the final session, construction domain 4, CD4, in this room. And then just 1 hour later, so eat out and come back soon. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, right on time. So really appreciate your participation. And well, if anybody would like to jump or post a question or comment, I mean, we know that we are going on now for lunch, but okay, we have some minutes if you want. If not, okay, don't hesitate to send us a message or yes, any comment during the event. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Konstantinos, Veljko, Ricardo, for the connection. So we hope to see you in our next meetings and hopefully in the next summit.